Hello, everyone. This is the part 2 on the discussion of HOTS question of Form 3, Chapter 1, Indices. Let's continue. Now, how do we solve this question? Find the values of this question. Now, the question doesn't require us to show the detailed working. Just say find the value, so we can use the calculator to solve this problem. Now let's say we really have to show working because the marks may be 4 marks. So let's see how we show the working. Always change the number that we see into the smallest number, so that the smaller the number, it's much easier for us to solve it. Okay, so 15 is 3 times 5 raised up to the power of 3, whereby 32 basically is 2 to the power of 5 times 5 raised up to the power of 2, and divided by okay, 2,400. We have 2,400 basically is 3 times 800, okay, right? So the 8 can be written in base 2. So we have 3 times 2 to the power of 3, that is 8, and then times 100. 100 basically is 2 times 5, right? So 2 times 5, double, 4 times 25. So 2 square times 5 square. So 2 square times 5 square, okay? And then everything raised up to the power of 2. Okay, next. I'm just providing the alternative. Should the question cost us 4 marks, we cannot just simply use the calculator and give the final answer. We have to show working, all right? The working will be like this lah. Okay, so let's open up the bracket. So we have 3 to the power of 3 times 5 to the power of 3 times 2 to the power of, don't forget to bring in the index into each and every item. So 5 times 2, we got 10, times with 5 to the power of 1 times 2. So we got 2 here. And then divide, right? Okay, I prefer to write in a fraction form. So we have, let's simplify what is inside the bracket first. So we have 3 times 2 to the power of 3 plus 2. So we have 3 to the, 2 to the power of 5, and then times 5 to the power of 2, and then raise up to the power of 2. So equals to 3 to the power of 3 times 2 to the power of 10 times 5 to the power of, I can combine the base 5 with power 3 and power 2 there. So 5 to the power of 5, because 3 plus 2 over 3 to the power of 2 times 2 to the power of 10, and then times 5 to the power of 4. And now what we can do is simplify. Okay, let's simplify. You see 3 to the power of 3. We have 3 to the power of 2 at the bottom. So we can cancel off 3 to the power of 2, and up there 3 to the power of 2 is simplified. We're left with power 1. 2 to the power of 10, you see it on both up and down, so we can just simplify both of them away. And then 2 to the power of 5, and 5 to the power of 5 and 5 to the power of 4. So you take 5 minus 4, you're left with 1 on top. Or there are 4 times of 5 at the bottom, 5 times of 5 on top. So after we simplify, we're left with 1 time of 5. So with that, we can find the answer. 3 to the power of 1 times 5 to the power of 1. Whatever at the bottom has been, they have been simplified away. So what we have is 15. So this will be the answer. Okay. So the method that we answer really based on the allocation of marks. If the question is only cost of 1 mark, you just use calculator and get the answer. But if the marks allocated is probably 2, 3, or 4, then you need to show a detailed working by applying the law of indices. Okay, so let's move on with number 5. So we are given 16p to the power 6 times 4p divided by p to the power 4 equals to 64 to the power 4. With p is the index form with base 8. Now, let's solve this one first. Okay, 16p to the power of 6 times 4p. The divide, normally I prefer to write it at the bottom. Okay, so it's equals 64 to the power 4. So this is the equation given. So now let's simplify the equation. Okay, so the number times number. 16 times 4, we have 64. And then the p part, right, we have multiply. So p to the power 6. When multiply with p to the power 1, so we just add the index and divide the p to the power 4. That means we minus index 4 equals to 64 raised up to the power of 4. So over here we have 64 p to the power of 7 minus 4 equals to 64 raised up to the power of 4. So over here, if both sides were divided by 64, okay, because I want to find p, so the coefficient should be carry over to the other side of the equation. So we will have p to the power of 3 because 7 minus 4 equals to 64 to the power of 4 divided by 64 to the power 1. So we can just apply the law of indices. So our index would be 4 minus 1. Therefore, we have 64 raised up to the power of 3. So p to the power of 3 equals to 64 to the power of 3. Therefore, you want to find p. The power 3, when you bring over, become cube root. Cube root means raised up to the power of 1 over 3. Okay, so over here we have 64. Or you compare if the index is the same. Therefore, the base must be the same. So we have p equals to 64. Then only we try to understand the question over here. It says p is a number in the index form with base 8. That means we have to write p in base 8. So 8 to the power what give us 64? It is 2. Therefore, what is the value of p? The value of p is 8 to the power of 2. That is the answer. So we have to answer according to the requirement of the question. The last question on the HOTS question. What is the units digit for 4 to the power of 100? So we want to know what is the units digit. Yeah? The units means, you know, a group of numbers. It consists of the units, the tens, the hundreds. Okay. So over here, we do not know. You can use the calculator. But if this, again, if this question worth more than 2 marks or 3 or 4 marks, you have to show working. So how do we show working? We start by scrutinizing the specific example. Starting from 4 to the power of 1, we get 4. 4 to the power of 2, we have 16. 4 to the power of 3, we have 64. 4 to the power of 4, we have 2, is it 200? Sorry, no, not that big. Times 4. 256, okay? 256. You can try to give a few more examples before we deduce it into one conclusion. So over here, you will notice that, okay, if I continue 4 to the power of 5, I will have 22 times 4. Yeah, 1024. Okay, we will have 1024. I think it's enough example. So over here, you will notice that when our index is odd number, okay, the units digit is 444. And when our index is even number, then our units digit is 6. So the digits, the units digit will swing from 4 to 6 to 4 to 6 to 4 to 6. It will swing between these two numbers. Therefore, now we can make a conclusion. So 4 to the power of 100, okay, it has the positive, it has the odd number or even number index. So the index is even. So index is even, therefore the units digit is, so all the even number end with 6. Therefore, the unit digit is 6. That's it. Okay, so that's all for all the HOTS question in Form 3, Chapter 1. I hope this will help you how to apply the law of indices. Okay, thank you very much.